Okay, hidden forest. This one is pretty straightforward. Not a whole lot of back and forth required here. Sorry for that cut. I had a little bit of a goof. So this will be stars and emotes. So children of light and, or I call them winged light and spirits. First one is here. This one can be really tricky to get, especially if you don't have a lot of cape. You can use your closed wing, open wing, and change it to closed wing mode here, and then you have a little more control in landing on this platform. I've more than once, though, ended up doing that too soon and falling because I didn't have enough cape power to keep going. So you can also shoot right over it very easily. So it's a tricky one. I had a little bit of issue in this video that people were ahead of me doing everything. So emotes were okay, but all of the dark plants were burned. So there are some caves we're going to get to that are usually covered with dark plant. But they weren't here because somebody had already burned it all. The quests today are in the forest, I think. I could be wrong, mistaken about that. I think they're in the forest though, so people were in this area a lot today. Hand holding is always an adventure. So there's our first emote. Over there to the left, you can see somebody burning stuff right there. So it makes collection of it all very easy, but some of these places were easier for me to see because they were already open than they might be for you if somebody hasn't already burned the stuff. You got to keep the emotes out of the rain. So this used to be a lot harder to do when there was a different way of doing it, but the rain does kill them. So if that blue circle goes red, then the emote returns to its original place and you have to go back and start it again. It's not such a big deal with this guy. There's another one later that it will burn out if you wait too long, take too long. There's a star, obviously, very, very clear there. Some of them are nicely right on the beaten path. Others are a little more off. There are several hidden here, some in the trees, which is very cool. When they redid forest, they added some tree houses. And glowing fungus, which the community has coined glungus for glowing fungus. Chris Hodder came up with that term, and it's been adopted by many people, not everybody. Kind of like krill was adopted by the community and by TGC for a time instead of dark creatures. Here is your first experience with crabs, and we will see them again. People had already come through and cleared this out, so I didn't have any trouble with anything. Oh no, I did have some trouble with the crabs. I did have to get rid of the crabs, so you will see them. So here we also have a Constellation Gate. As you can see, the green barrier there on the right. We'll go up to it. All you've got to do though for that one is collect every emote in this level. So I think it's 6 or 8. It'll say how many. So every single, and there are 2 entrances for this, just like there's multiple entrances for the ones in the areas in Prairie. There's 2 entrances for this one. This area that is beyond this gate sort of acts as a bypass for a lot of the level. Okay, So anyway, we'll get there later. So first we're going to go to our first star here up in a tree house. As you can see, there he is. I would invite anybody who wants to do timestamps on this to do so for stars and emotes. So I'm looking around down to see where we are. This is that little structure we came into. And then there is a little cave tunnel here across the path. There's another tree house, as you can see. There is a star there. We will get to it. So here's our little tunnel. It goes to our next emote. And this is the one that you do need to be quick about because it will burn out in the rain. So, as you can see, the little, you didn't really get a chance to see it there, but this is tricky too because that's a big gap to go over. So if you're not quick about it, those will burn out and it will just return to its place and you'll have to start it again. You used to actually have to drag the emote thing through. Very slow going, very hard to do with other people. TGC had this idea that everybody would get together and cooperate all the time, and it's like, no, people were either confused or intentionally getting in the way. And you saw it both. You saw people who were clearly intentionally getting in the way, and you saw people who were just confused. They weren't sure what they were doing, so they abandoned that for the regular emotes. Those kinds of sequences are still done on the seasonal emotes, though they have said that they're going to try to improve those. Oops. Lost a person. Okay. So we're going to go back because there was a star. Right now I'm deciding which direction to go. There is a star off this way. And it's back towards, it overlooks the place where we found that emote. You can see the structure on the left there. Then there's a little tunnel. And this is usually covered by dark plant. So it's not open like that. You don't see that glow. You have to burn the dark plant before you can see it. So just beware that it's there, but usually covered by dark plant that you have to burn through before you see the star, the child of light. So now I think we're going to fly to that tree house. And we're not going to quite make it. We're going to have to use some glungus to help us out. So there's the tree house, and I just don't have enough cape. But there is this glowing fungus here that does charge you. You can see another emote down there. So we'll use this stuff to get us back up the tree. There's the tree house right there. Oof. And we'll fall off. And there's our child of light. Whoop, and we'll miss. So now we're going to jump down, I think, and go to that. Oof. And there's that emote we saw a minute ago. Whoop, get some stuff. So normally all that stuff you burn, but somebody's already come ahead and done it. And you'll see me burn some of it, so if you're not sure what that means. Oop. The camera does its own thing here, so your forced camera movement here, following the path of this thing. He's got the teal cape. It's a very pretty color, but that's not the color of it. So check out the wiki before you buy this cape for the real color. It's much more green. They've got to fix that. It's a much more green cape than that. It's a pretty color, kind of turquoise with green turquoise. So it's pretty, but it's not blue at all. It is green. Which to me is teal. Teal is a bluish green. Okay, so here's the other one. This tunnel cave is usually covered in dark material, and these crabs, they are roaming around. With a big chirp, and here I'm going to show you how to do it. The big chirp, maybe I'm going to show you how to do it, maybe I'm just going to run around. With a big chirp, you can knock them over. It takes a couple tries though. So they can't get in your way here. Again, it used to be worse when you had to drag that emote through there rather than be able to jump ahead and run after it. This one also has the little burning indicator, or a indicator there. It doesn't burn out though. I've not experienced it burning out. It gives that indicator as it's moving, but then it finds cover. So it's only that shy emote that we just had that actually does burn out, at least in my experience. There is another star, and I think we've got all the rest of them, so that will be our next one. Kind of use that star as your beacon of which direction to go next, to move on. Now you're not going to have the full number of emotes until the very last area, so thankfully there is a entrance to that other area that we passed by that we couldn't get into because of the Constellation Gate. Spirit Gate. I'm not sure if they're calling them Spirit Gates or Constellation Gates now, actually. They call them Constellation Gates. Now they might call them Spirit Gates, which is descriptive of what they are. They're spirits. You collect the spirits in order to open those gates, or you find those spirits. So I think we're done with that area. So now we're going to move on. And there's something that's going to happen in this next area, and that is you see the calls on the bottom row there. There's a call, a voice call that is available in this next area. Back that way, so it's a ways away now, but because this is one giant huge area, if somebody else activates that call, everybody in the whole area gets it, and so somebody is going to activate it way off there in the distance, and we're going to get it, but we're not going to have any idea why we got it right there. So that's a call that's available at some bones way in the distance, and we'll get there, but that right there, that call, that voice right there, that one and the one of the manta calls in a later level are that way. If you're in the area and somebody else activates it, you'll get it. So you may never know where it is because you got it when somebody else did it. So here's our purple cape. And again, I want to say that just because you see those leggings on this spirit does not mean those leggings are available in the map. It was a different spirit where there were leggings available, and she thought she was going to get the leggings the spirit was wearing. And the spirits do not wear the leggings that you get. The spirits only wear the capes, hairstyles, and masks. So it is misleading. You think they're going to wear the leggings too. They don't. It's the only one they don't wear. So use the wiki for leggings, especially for pants. I say leggings because in Europe, in England, pants is different. So pants means underwear. So use the wiki for, and also for colors of the capes. Now, of course, color, especially of capes, changes depending on the lighting, and we have different lighting in home space. We have sunset, sunrise, day, and night. So those cape colors do change slightly, especially the blue, the blues, the purple, and the green all change color quite a bit in different light. So the wiki is taken at sunset because it's my favorite light, but it does change the colors a little bit. But they're pretty close, closer than your images are going to be on these spirits. So I would use the wiki for any reference for the capes you want, or the hairstyles, because you're not going to be able to see the hairstyles clearly that the spirits are wearing, and sometimes it's hard to see in the little icons. The masks too are hard to see on the spirits, and hard to see what they actually look like. So use the wiki, because there's pictures of everything on the wiki, absolutely everything, because I was in beta, so I had everything. I was able to take pictures of everything. That's going to end once the new season comes up, because I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a season I've seen before. So then the wiki will be no reference until I've collected the stuff. I will try to collect it in the beta, but we're not going to have a lot of time in the beta to collect anything. It's going to be more bug testing, rather than actually collecting anything, because it's going to be too quick. They're going to give us about 2 weeks, and then that's it. That's the end of the season. All the chance you got to collect it in the beta. So that was our deep bow emote. And then there's a star that you can see very easily from that emote. So you're at that emote, you then look across, and then you can see this tree, this hollow tree. Now this is a hollow tree, but it's not the hollow tree you'll see referenced in quests. The hollow tree referenced in quests is in a previous area. It should be here, because this is the hollow tree. I'm not... TGC sometimes gets things a little off, it seems. And then there is another 2 stars in here and 1 more emote. We're flying. I'm using the birds. I like to use the birds in this level because you can fly in the forest. You didn't used to be able to. The rain really made it hard. So you more like, hovered. So we get right to this tree house because I used the birds. So again, that's not so easy. There is glungus. There's the glowing fungus to help you get up the trees and up into here. There is a constellation gate there. I think it's 4 emotes needed, but you can reach right through it for that star. Now here, again, you're overlooking this next area, and this is that whale bones, where you get that call on the right bottom. That call is right here, and it's usually covered in fungus, green dark plant, and that's where you clear it off of the dark plant, and you get the call right there. So somebody else had come through and done it for us already. And there is usually other dark stuff the dark stuff on the whale bones don't give you any wax, but there's dark stuff around it too that does give you wax. Now we're going to head straight over to this next emote, which is in a cave in the far right corner of the area. There's a cave that has 2 entrances. Somebody has already burned the dark stuff off of it. So there's usually dark plant covering the entrance on both sides. So you can't usually see this clearly. And right there is the other entrance, and see it recovers it for the emote sequence with a barrier. But that's usually dark stuff too there that is covering that whole entrance. Having some connection issues here. This was an interesting one. It makes you wonder what happened. It looks like there was like a cave-in of some sort. People got hurt and killed. And this guy maybe feels responsible. Maybe he was the guy in charge, something like that. This is the cry emote. This is the other emote I think I mentioned in Prairie, the wave emote. This is the other emote that has 6 levels. So 5 upgrades to the basic emote, which also means it has 2 wing buffs. So you can get, there's a total of 37 emotes, but 39 wing buffs, because both the cry and the wave emote have 2. And there's the temple. That is the forest temple. Of course, that is where we have to visit in order to send our spirits to the sky and allow us to buy the cosmetics within them. And now I'm going to do this the way it's supposed to be done. I usually use the birds here too. Oh, there is one place other to go. I almost forgot. And I'm going to find the way. I'm going to climb up on this thing. I'm going to see it. This is where that other area that had the Constellation Gate is. You see the tree right there ahead of us. And you can see it in various places. So that is the other entrance to that bypass area. And this area has some stuff to burn, some dark stuff to burn for wax, and it has 2 stars, two children of light. No emotes or anything at this time, hopefully. Maybe someday they'll add the facepalm emote back in. It used to be here. But that's when Hands to Head was, that's when Hands to Head was in Prairie. So this is our little sunny forest, and you'll see why we say that, because it's not sunny right now, but it does get sunny. It's a pretty area. Another fairly new a newer addition, that where that Constellation Gate is that we passed by, that was still the green barrier, used to be a gate, just a gate to a building, it looked like, and it was just inactive. It was just there, and we always wondered what they were going to put there someday. And it took them quite a while to put something there, but they finally just changed it completely and made it a tunnel, a big hole in the wall instead, and then they added this area in there. And for a while it stood empty, and we wondered if maybe we weren't supposed to be there. It was an accident, but they added these little pathways and stuff. This is the easy way to get to the other star child. There's a person just sitting, hanging out here. But it's a very pretty area. I'm going to show you the exit that goes back to where we saw the Constellation Gate the first time. If you go here and then look back, oops, I thought I could get up there, and then look back the other way. That's the way we came from just now, but that is the way that you would come if you came through that first cave, first tunnel. I keep messing those words up. And there's a bridge you can build just like elsewhere. So that's that. And it's a nice little bypass. You would bypass a lot of other stuff. And it's sunny, so you can fly a little easier and don't lose your energy. But of course you have to have already gone through and gotten all the emotes once. So you can't do that the first time you play it. Kind of the way they make you have to play through the proper way first. To a point. I mean, there's only to a point they can do that when they have you able to freely go here and there. This bridge is not working right now, it appears. This section worked, but the next section didn't. I tried twice. It didn't work either time. You can skip this scene even the first time you play. Seems a little strange to me. And there's somebody getting the whale call again. Because we re-entered the area, so it reset the area. So now that stuff was on the whale again. That one's not working. So we'll just fly over our little beacon here in the form of a star child. Oops. This is a really pretty scene. It's different. It just was added much, much later, more recently, with the jellyfish coming up out of the water here. Jellyfish are, of course, a little bit of a nod to Journey with those cloth jellyfish. So more light creatures that can help you, along with mantas, butterflies. I usually use the birds here too, because you can. There's a little secret over to the right, a bit of an Easter egg that used to be useful but isn't anymore. And I have that on my other walkthrough and on some of my streams where I kind of go more of showing people that sort of thing. I'm trying to keep this pretty much just emotes and stars. Just what you really want to know to get the game, get through the game and collect everything. So there's one more star still here. So now we're in the temple, which is where we need to sit to return the spirits to the sky and have access to their cosmetics, and also to open the doors for next level. I'm going to go off a little bit sometimes and get some dark stuff. So this is the dark stuff you burn. There's a big dark plant in the corner that you need multiple people in order to burn it. And this is broken. And it's not always broken, but it did this, and it's okay because we can sit. Usually something comes up out of the thing. So this is weird, but at least it still worked and got us through. But usually there's a bit of an animation and the stone comes up out of there. Not sure why it gets buggy sometimes. When somebody else has activated something before you come into an area, or when you come into an area, there's a bit of a conflict, it seems. You don't always get the game the way it's supposed to go. You're supposed to have the elder stone here. It's kind of weird looking. It's very strange. Okay, so now we come into another little sunny area, sunny, cloudy, much like the first entrance area that you came into. Now off to the left here is a star. And then that is pretty much it. Use some jellies to get up into the air and go on to the next level. So that is pretty much it for Hidden Forest.